Well, it doesn't get more brutal than this, folks. Congressman Brandon Gill just sat DC Mayor Muriel Bowser down and exposed her entire 10-year record of failure, forcing her to answer for the skyrocketing crime she calls safe. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
This is Mr. Gill from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing. And I'd also like to thank the witnesses for taking the time to be here today. I know y'all are busy, so really appreciate it. Mayor Bowser, thank you to you especially for coming here. You've been mayor for about 10 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. And during that time, would you describe D.C. as a safe city?
Yes.
You would?
Listen, Mr. Gill, and it was brought up earlier by the Congresswoman from
The murder
Detroit.
rate in Washington, D.C. is the fourth highest of any city in the country. Would you describe that as a safe city?
I have heard every statistic and factoid, and they're all different. About where our city.
Are you disputing that Washington, D.C. is the fourth highest murder rate in the country?
I'm not familiar with that statistic.
You're not familiar with that
statistic. What I know, Mr.
This is
Gill,
your city.
Mr. Gill,
Respectfully, this is your city.
Respectfully, I know that we have driven our murder rate down.
What was the homicide rate in 2014 before you were elected?
I don't know.
Do you know how much the homicide rate has changed during your 10 years, Mayor?
I do.
How much?
It has gone up.
It's gone up by about 70%.
Down.
It's gone up by about 70% from 2014 to 2024. Those are from the Metropolitan Police Department. That is correct.
I don't think that number is correct.
You should know the crime statistics for your own city, especially whenever it's this dangerous. Do you know how carjackings have trended during your time in office?
I know that they have gone down.
They're up over 500% since from 2014 to 2024. That's not a safe city. I don't think any person would call that a safe city. We'll move on. Do you agree that defunding the police makes our communities less safe, don't you?
This is what I want to say.
It's a straightforward question.
Yeah.
You're not going to filibuster. Do you think that defunding the police makes our communities less safe?
What I know is that people have moved here. People have sent their kids here. People have started businesses here. We have record.
Does defunding the police make our communities more or less safe?
Those are the indications.
Does defunding the police make our communities more or less safe?
Where people want to live, work, and visit.
You won't even back your own police department right now. I'm asking you, does defunding the police make our communities more or less safe? And you won't give me a straight answer.
I've already answered that today.
And why don't you tell me again? Do you think that defunding the police makes our communities more or less safe?
I've never defunded the police, nor would I.
So you think it makes our communities less safe, is that correct?
I just told you, I've never defunded the police, and
I
never would.
understand that. You know, you may not have defunded the police, and that's a good thing, but you did provide a $125,000 grant to an organization lobbying to defund the police. Are you aware of that?
What is that you just raised?
It's an organization called HIPS that you provided just this year, fiscal year 2025. $125,000 grant to.
I think we funded them to do public health work.
Quote, "It's time we shifted to a society free of police and systems of incarceration."
We fund them for public health work.
For public health?
Yes.
Does this make our communities more healthful?
We fund them for public health.
Do you think defunding our police and lobbying to defund our police and undermine local law enforcement makes our communities more safe?
I've answered
or
that
healthful?
question.
Do you think that providing tax dollars to an organization who wants to defund our police is good for the residents of Washington, D.C.?
We wouldn't fund them for that purpose. We would fund them.
But you funded them, and you chose to give them money. You gave them hard-working tax dollars to an organization that wants to defund the police.
We fund them for public health.
Do you think that giving housing, free housing to illegal aliens is an appropriate use of tax dollars?
We think if it keeps people off the streets, then we have to keep people off the streets.
You agree with giving your residents tax dollars and using them to give subsidized housing for illegal aliens?
But Mr. Gill, we also didn't agree with the governor of Texas or Arizona busing people, tricking them to come to our city.
And
we didn't agree with that either.
It's surprising to me because you're also funding NGOs that support free housing for illegal aliens.
And I hope you would agree that other governors shouldn't send people on buses that don't have any housing to our city.
Free housing for illegal aliens in your city. That makes your city less safe. I want to move on. In May of 2024, and this was referenced earlier, there were some major pro-Palestinian protests and sit-ins at George Washington University. This was during final exam season. They were terrorizing Jewish students. They were doing it for weeks. It was a major problem. The police were called in, and you stopped them from doing their job. Why is that?
I didn't stop the police from doing anything.
It is illegal for them to block a roadway. We've got the law right here. It's unlawful for a person, alone or in concert with others, to obstruct or incommode any street avenue. That's exactly what they were doing, and you refused to allow police to clear them out. Why is that?
That's incorrect.
Why would you stop police? Clear the record then.
I never stopped the police.
You didn't stop them?
No, I did not.
You didn't stop them. Would you like to explain what happened? Why police never cleared out this roadway?
Police did clear roadways.
They were there for weeks.
Police cleared roadways.
They were there for weeks,
Actually,
terrorizing Jewish
they
students,
were
and this was
probably
in
on
your city.
private property, not on the roadway.
No, they were on public roadways.
No, they weren't.
Terrorizing Jewish students,
they
and you
weren't.
allowed it to happen.
No,
I
they
yield
weren't.
my time back.
No, they weren't.
I'm not familiar with that statistic. That's the line, isn't it? She's the mayor for 10 years and she doesn't know the homicide rate in her own city. That's a shameless lie. It's pure willful detachment. And that whole exchange is the perfect picture of the two parties right now. You've got the Republican Brandon Gill, who comes in with a stack of receipts, actual numbers from her own police department, and the Democrat Bowser, who evades excuses. I've heard factoids. Factoids? The craziest part is that Gill was being nice. He said homicides were up 70%. The real number, if you look at the peak, is closer to 186%. And carjackings, a 547% spike. You have to call that what it is, a siege. It's a complete collapse of civilization. Yet she has the audacity to sit there under oath and say, yes, it's a safe city. It's insulting to every single person living there who is terrified to pump their own gas. That level of denial is the pure arrogance of an elitist who is completely insulated from the consequences of her own failed policies. I saw an unbelievable stat. The murder rate in DC is 18 times higher than in communist Havana, Cuba. Think about that. A Democrat-run city in the United States is 18 times more dangerous than a communist dictatorship. How is that even possible? But for me, the real mask-off moment was the whole song and dance about defunding the police. She gives that slick politician answer, "I've never defunded the police." She thought she was so clever with that line. She launders the money. She takes $125,000 of taxpayer money and gives it to a radical group called HIPS, a group that openly calls for a society free of police. It's the classic Democrat shell game. They don't technically cut the budget line item. They funnel your money directly to the abolitionists. And she tries to hide behind public health. That's the new buzzword. Public health is the Trojan horse for the entire radical agenda. It means decriminalizing everything. It's Orwellian. Then it gets worse. We get to the America Last part of the program. Gill grills her on housing for illegal aliens, and her first instinct is to blame Texas, as if she didn't create the sanctuary city. As if she didn't put out the welcome mat. And here's the sickening part. Her budget has $40 million for migrant services. At the same time, she is slashing funds for emergency rental assistance for her own citizens. She's cutting money for domestic violence shelters. She is actively choosing to put illegals in hotels over protecting the actual tax-paying women and families of her city. And when you think it can't get any worse, there's the GW protest. She flatly denies stopping the police. She lies. She claims she never stopped them from clearing out the pro-Hamas mob that was terrorizing Jewish students. But that was a lie. We know from the Oversight Committee that her police department rejected the university's requests for help. She only caved and sent the cops in after Republicans in Congress threatened to do her job for her. She was shamed into it. This whole thing is the modern Democrat platform in action. Let the city collapse into a siege. Lie about it. Fund the abolitionists who caused it. Prioritize illegal immigrants over your own people, and side with the mob over Jewish students. Muriel Bowser is the perfect example. She is the blueprint. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.